love the channel and find it useful in becoming a happy retiree. Subscribe today. Susan in Griffin. Susan, good morning. Welcome to Money Matters. What's going on? How can I help?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
I've sold my house, and I've decided to rent for a year until I decide if I want to buy again, but I don't think I will. I'm 70. I'm enjoying the apartment life. So I have, the proceeds from the house, which are about $180,000. I've parked them in a money market for 3 months, making 1.25 on the little promo.
Okay.
So
that's not terrible. That's not terrible. 1.25.
No,
okay.
not terrible. Not terrible. And I have some other assets, and I have a guaranteed income, so I feel like I'm as covered as I guess I need to be, really. And I'd like to make this money grow, if that makes sense, without buying another home. I may.
So you don't miss. So Susan, you don't. So this is interesting. So you had a home, obviously, for probably many years, and are you already in retirement, or are you still working?
Yes, I am.
Already in retirement, and you sold your place, and now is it because you were moving locations, or you just kind of sick of you were tired of owning a house, maintenance, everything like that, and you wanted to kind of simplify life? What was the move?
Well, it was both. It was both. I didn't have to move. I chose. It was a hard decision, but I decided to go with the simple and also to move closer to my family.
Oh, good.
So
okay, that makes sense.
That's what I did, and I think that's going to work out. So
how many? So they're in. So you've got kids then in Georgia, I guess. Right. And, and do they and grandkids too?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So you want to be near them, and is this, as far as your cost now? If we're looking at kind of a bigger picture, obviously you've got some Social Security.
Right.
In addition to that, do you have any other? Is it pension? Or are you living off some of the other investments? And that's kind of where I'm getting here. Is how much do you need the income off the investments, and what would be like what would be an ideal amount that you're generating?
Yeah, well, I don't think I need the investments. I'm not living off of them. I have a good pension, so my net that I get every month after taxes and all that stuff is a little over $5,000, which seems to be perfectly fine for me. I have long-term care. I feel like I'm okay.
So this is almost kind of your backup money. That's almost reserve, and this is after tax money because this is from the sale of a house. It's not a retirement fund. Do you have some IRA or what would have used to be maybe 401k money? Do you have some of that as well, or is this most of your liquid assets, or is this 100? This 180 close to 200,000?
I have 200,000 in other things, other little, very, very conservative mutual funds and some sort of an annuity, but very, very safe and very conservative, not growing a lot, but, growing some.
My thought here for you, Susan, and part of the reason I want to ask a little bit more about the family. So you've got kids here and you've got grandkids and you don't really need the investment money. So let's call it, let's say round number, you have about $400,000 in different savings, right? So that could, if you wanted it to, and this is, let's just say that I'm using the 4% rule, or even at age 70, if you can say, well, let's call it 4% plus inflation or 5% without inflation on the 400,000. If you wanted to, you could take about 20,000 a year for you. Right? Or call it another $1,600 a month, but you don't need it. My thought in this case is that you give this money another 20, 30-year time horizon, because if you don't really need it, technically it's going to eventually be the kids' money, and maybe the grandkids. Yep. So you can invest this like you're 45 or 50 years old, because the horizon isn't just for you, it's for the whole family. And I think that if that's the case, you want to have at least 50, potentially up to 60 or 70% in the stock side of the market. So something like a target date fund, that maybe a target 2025 or 2030, 35 fund, through Vanguard, and I'll think of, let's do this. I got to go a quick break here, news, weather, traffic, but I'll come back and give you a couple quick examples or ideas on this. So stay tuned.
Okay.
And if you can, I'll just answer you once I get back. If you can't, hang on. You're listening to Money Matters right here, News 95.5 and AM 750 WSB. Welcome back to Money Matters. Susan, did you hold or not? I can't tell.
I did hold. I'm right here.
God bless you. We're the best callers on the planet. So here's my just one parting thought for you as you're thinking about investing this money, the proceeds of the house. Your time horizon's longer than you might think. So my thought would be, if you looked at a target date type of fund, whether it's a Vanguard or even a Schwab or a Fidelity Freedom Fund that are all target based, the key here is that you've got a mix of stocks and bonds. And I like the year around 2025 for most of these, whether it's Vanguard or it's Fidelity. If you're targeting the 2025 range, you're going to have around 65% in U.S. and international stocks. The other 35% is bond oriented, so it's safer, a little bit of interest, and that's a nice balance. And now that at 70, you might say, oh, that's too risky. I think you have a long horizon here, and some sort of mix like that is where you want to target. I know we don't have a ton of time, so if you have any questions and want to talk further, certainly you can find me at wesmoss.com. Happy to continue the conversation. Or you can go to Getwella, GETWELA.com for some other ideas, and we're happy to help. Hi, I'm Wes Moss, and thanks for taking a minute to hear about what's so different about my new book, You Can Retire Sooner Than You Think. So unlike other retirement books, this book will give you a step-by-step guide, whether you're in your 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s, to learn from what these successful and happy retirees did to get there. I hope you enjoy the book, but more importantly, I know that it'll help you retire sooner than you think.